alcohol all for nothing, nothing for nothing. Bitch, I did it all for nothing. Bitch, I did it all for nothing. Bitch, I was crying, you was bluffing, you was stunting, you was saying shit. You put me on the motherfucking bitch. I hate you so damn much. I wanna put you in your gut. Bitch, I got this loaded 45, but I shoot you, hope you die twice. Bitch, perfect. I wanna strangle you. I wanna mangle you. I wanna do some things I shouldn't or supposed to think about doing to you, but I already thought about it, so I might as well follow through. Hurt you in your fucking body. Hit you with a karate chop. Fuck it. How that sound? You go to the top? Bitch, I did it all for nothing. Bitch, I did it all for nothing. Bitch, I did it all for nothing. Bitch, I did it all for nothing.
96% of adults go to work hungover the day after a holiday party. New Year's has the worst statistics, with almost 58% of highway deaths being alcohol related. 40% of highway deaths during the holidays are alcohol related. This holiday, stay home, stay at a friend's or a family's house. Be safe this holiday season. Don't drink and drive.
We'll warn you right now, things may get a little fucked up and crazy.
What's even worse is I had a kid come in, and I was shitting in the urinal, and he came in, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing?
But if that's something you're into, then Mikes and Men is the show for you. The boys are gonna cover it all without holding back. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, and you could learn a thing or two. It's Mikes and Men, only on CBW.
The hottest DJ.
Buddy Addison's here to make sweet, sweet love to your ears whenever the fuck I feel like it. Tune in to CBW, and maybe if you're lucky, I'll be on.
Or just invite me over for a good time.
No outlet, but I need to charge my phone.
No Outlet Live.
Once again, another episode has started with technical difficulties. Let me get this together. See what we got going on here. Okay, that's looking right. Let's find our boy, the ant on a rant, the local legend himself, Anthony Miano.
Hi, everybody.
So he's here. Sorry, my cameras had to get reset. You know, every now and then you gotta reset some cameras. So this is No Outlet Live. We are brought to you by FlatHousePress.com and Guardian Roadside Solutions. We are a show that really brings you a whole lot of news. It could be entertainment. It's usually not politics. Try to stay away from the little bit of COVID stuff. And one thing that we do love to cover also is The Simpsons. Right, Anthony?
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite subjects.
So I got a couple of things. You sent in some good stuff. I got some good stuff. And what we're going to do is we're about to just start off right now, going right into it. So I'm going to jump into this real quick. Hold on, let me find out my music situation.
Okay.
How was your weekend going?
Pretty good so far.
You have anything exciting happen to you on your weekend?
Yeah, this.
Oh, this is the most exciting part of your weekend.
I'm a monk compared to you when I'm not here.
I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I did work out with my kettlebells, tomahawk, and knives this morning.
That's exciting. Why would you say, "Oh, nothing's going on"? But you're playing with tomahawks and knives and nunchucks and machine guns.
God, I wish. No. Yeah, that's the thing. That's that. There's the old warning: don't try this at home. In the case of that particular workout, I would tell people try this only at home because otherwise, well, you're going to find yourself on the business end of police sirens and gunshots.
Oh, you definitely will find yourself on the business end of police sirens and gunshots. Now, speaking of police sirens and gunshots, this is not the local, this is the story that's been going around. Alec Baldwin's fatal prop gun shooting. Experts weigh in on how the accident happened. This is on Fox News. This story came out yesterday. So he was on the set of this show. Let's see. What show is
Yeah, it's a
this?
movie called Rust.
The Rust. So do you know anything about this? Are you hip to the Alec Baldwin fatal shooting thing?
I've heard a little bit about it, and yeah, I get the impression that this was an accident caused by a bad environment on set, and I mean, it's my understanding the typical movie or TV production films like 18 hours a day. When they're on, and that alone is what my late dad would call and
a lot of it's all production though. I mean, you can shoot for like a week and get a big chunk of a movie done.
Yeah, I mean, it's my I saw somewhere once on this like behind the scenes thing about Jackie Chan's movies. It showed like footage from one of the fight scenes in one of his movies, and then some text popped up on the screen that said a typical day of shooting on one of his films produces about 2 seconds worth of usable film. And I'm like, okay, the movie business has been active for...
How many of these movies, though, can you think of? How many actors do you know that have been fatally wounded due to prop gun misfirings or whatever?
I know of one, Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee. That is correct. Bruce Lee's son got shot making The Crow, and they had to finish it with a whole nother actor.
Yeah, they're both cautionary tales for me. In his case, now his father is a hero to me for, obvious reasons, but he's also a cautionary tale and like one of the greatest examples of irony in the history of the human race. He was one of the fittest human beings on the planet, yet he died in his early 30s.
Yeah, he is very wise and regarded globally as somebody of a certain stature, but he, or I don't know if that was the right word to use, but there was also another side of the coin that I've heard, I've only heard the rumors of. I'm not a Hollywood guy, but a lot of people in Hollywood said that he was also a dick.
That's possible. I've read little, if anything, on what he was like away from the movie sets.
I mean, there's a lot of people that also say he stole one of his movies that he made was like somebody else's movie and he took it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to really care about that because especially since he's been dead about 50 years now.
Yeah, that's over with. So we're going
to
dive a little more into this. Let's see if this is a video and it plays. Okay, let's flash. Well, that's not looking like it's going to try to work for me. Let's see if there's another version of this video somewhere. See them taping stuff off. Let's see what this is. Alec Baldwin tweets, there are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Helena Hutchins, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours. I'm fully cooperating with the police investigation to address how this tragedy occurred, and I guess it must have went on, but that's not in there. I really want this video up here to play so I can see a news coverage.
Here, try clicking refresh on the site.
No, it's just going to this crap. Let me try to not show off all of our news stories.
Okay. Yeah, while you're pulling that up, I gotta say, even before I know all the details of this, my first reaction is, this shit was preventable. And even at the elite military schools like Ranger and SEAL, the instructors work in shifts, so Hollywood, maybe try something like that. Oh, what a cute dog.
Dog food
Alec Baldwin
commercials.
is addressing the fatal prop gun incident on Thursday that killed a cinematographer on the set of his upcoming Western film Rust. On Friday, the actor tweeted, "There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Helena Hutchins." He went on to say that he is fully cooperating with the police investigation to address the tragedy. He also shared that he has been in touch with Hutchins' husband and is offering support to him and his family, including Hutchins' son. Authorities have said that Baldwin accidentally misfired the prop gun, killing Hutchins, who was 42 years old. Director Joel Souza was also injured in the incident. According to a cast member, he has since been released from the hospital. Baldwin was photographed after the incident, looking visibly distraught and shaken. According to a press release written by the Santa Fe Sheriff's Department and obtained by People, authorities responded to the set around 1:50 p.m. local time, following 911 calls indicating an individual had been shot. The Sheriff's Department said that Hutchins was airlifted to the University of New Mexico Hospital, where she died from her injuries. The film's production company, Rust Movie Productions LLC, said in a statement that the film set has since been shut down, with production paused indefinitely. The company also stated that the entire cast and crew is absolutely devastated by today's tragedy. They also sent their condolences to Hutchins' family. Following her death, directors, actors, and those in the film industry paid tribute to the late cinematographer. Actor Joe Manganiello wrote in a long tribute on Instagram that he was in shock, adding that his heart goes out to her family, especially her son. The actor also praised Hutchins as an absolutely incredible talent and a great person.
So I have a quick question for you. You're the director of this movie, okay? And you're stuck in this position where possibly I don't know where the blame will go, because when I was reading into that article, it said you're supposed to have a first-hand gun, firearms, like a weapons person to oversee that. And then there's a second wave of people that go over it. And then the scene could go on. Now, if you're the director of this movie, do you consider the movie, finish it, and put it out?
Wow.
I mean, there could be, this has got some big actors in it, so you got to think this is millions of dollars have gone into this already.
Well, that's both a reason to continue and a reason not to continue, because one of my thoughts here is that this happened because money was a higher priority than human life.
Possibly, or I almost feel like I remember Brandon Lee's situation. They said there was a piece of paper or something that was in the blank. So when the projectile went off, the paper became a projectile or something like that.
Yeah.
So what if this was just a freak accident? I mean, things happen when you play with dangerous weapons, I guess.
Yeah, there was a similar dilemma with Fast and Furious 7 almost a decade ago when Paul Walker died. Offset, of course, and in his case, there was no doubt he brought it on himself.
Yeah, in this case, you got Alec Baldwin sitting here freaking out because he killed another actor when he thought he was firing blanks on a scene.
Yeah. Now, think about it. Think about all the action movies you've ever heard of or watched where there's hundreds or even thousands of rounds being fired in the movie, and those all get filmed without anyone getting hurt. And yeah, the
We got
Baldwin.
a comment on Facebook that says, if they continue and put out the movie, just donate a lump sum of the price of the movie back to the families of the victims.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, but anyway, with Paul Walker, they were.
You think that might blow up the movie theater? Like, people are trying to get that money to donate to the families. That could be a big draw.
I doubt that's gonna draw. I mean, by that logic, attendance at Dark Knight Rises would have skyrocketed back in 2012.
Oh, for Heath Ledger?
No, that was Dark Knight in 2008. No, I'm talking about in Colorado when that guy
the
opened
Batman
fire.
movie theater shooter.
Yeah. So by that logic, attendance at future screenings of that movie should have gone up, although that movie was popular enough that it was in the middle of a good run that was going to continue for a little bit no matter what happened. Anyway, with Paul Walker, they were debating when or if to finish that movie because they were in this situation where they didn't have enough of his scenes shot to finish it, but they were too far along to change the story or kill off his character.
Yeah,
or recast.
everything was already set in stone. They've gone too far.
Yeah, so they were able to be creative, and they used as much of his footage as possible that they already had, and he happened to have two brothers who were very close to his height and build that they used as stand-ins to film the rest of his scenes, and then they superimposed Walker's face on them. And then they
they could use like the AI technology, the deep fake stuff. I mean, the deep fakes of Tom Cruise are amazing.
Yeah, now, and this is one situation where I'm okay with them using a dead actor's likeness in a movie because there was no way they could finish it otherwise.
I mean, this story is really sad, man. I feel bad for everybody involved, especially Alec Baldwin, because he didn't sign up for that. You know what I mean? He was just shooting a good movie that was supposed to come out, or a TV show. I can't remember which one it is.
Sounds like it was a film, but I have another question. Where was the on-set medic?
Oh, you know what? I'm not sure if I've even thought about that whole situation. There should be like a medical team if there's firearms involved,
Or not even necessarily a team. It can be as small as one guy. Like just some of the things I know off the top of my head that are. It's my understanding, at least within the state of Ohio, that no high school football game can be played without an ambulance right there next to the field to take players to the hospital.
Right, and that's a bunch of young kids. Families probably don't have money and stuff like that.
Some cases they do. Sometimes, whether they do or don't, the state.
Not
will.
everybody went to high school with LeBron James.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me that I knew the bastard. But either way, he didn't actually have money back then, but it was a rich school. But either way, the state of Ohio's like, yeah, we don't care about the income level of the school. You will have an ambulance nearby to take players to the hospital, or we are not letting you play.
I mean, how much could you, if there was like some medics on the scene of the crime scene, to be able to help with a fatal gunshot wound?
Well, here's the thing. The director was also wounded, but somehow he ultimately survived, and the cinematographer was in that zone where she survived long enough to be airlifted to the hospital. So to me, that tells me they had it planned out.
It was a hit?
No, planned out to be able to call in the helicopter that took them to the hospital. that it seems like they were already prepared to do. And if they were in a place remote enough that a helicopter was necessary instead of a regular ambulance, you gotta wonder why the hell they didn't have medics, or at least one medic on site to deal with this.
All right. Well, let's see what this article says about it. He accidentally shot and killed the cinematographer Helena Hutchins on Thursday after he discharged a prop firearm on the New Mexico set of Rust. The film's director Joe was also hit and injured, but has since been released from the hospital. Police are still investigating. Many are left wondering how a prop firearm could leave someone dead and what type of safety protocols were in place to prevent this from happening. Fox News spoke to experts in the props and weapons field about the incident. They said this is an unprecedented procedural failure in the history of firearm safety. It's unbelievable. I only chuckled because of my good reading skills right there. The person responsible for loading and ensuring that the firearm is ready for the scene is called an armorer or a weapons master, and you're supposed to have an armorer, an assistant armorer, and there are several steps that you're supposed to go through to ensure that a weapon is loaded correctly with the correct type of blanks. So this is a big failure on just who they had watching over these prop guns, because I kind of understand what was going on here. A lot of these movies have the option to use a prop gun when you're shooting film and somebody's using a prop gun that fires blanks. It looks real. You get the sparks that come out of the chamber and all that stuff. So you want all of that actual real effect. You can tell when that's CGI, and they don't want that, but they didn't have the right people doing the watching over what was loaded into these guns. I'm curious because none of that in the article brings up if those were blanks or actual bullets.
Well, there's a lot of the facts aren't known yet. That's probably why that wasn't in the article.
And I always wondered that about blanks. How do they mimic that firing, but nothing, like a little tiny piece of the shell could come out of that and kill somebody.
Well, here's the thing.
Technically speaking,
when blanks are fired, they, at least in my experience with firing blanks on certain military ranges, nothing actually comes out of the barrel at the other end.
Yeah, except for like sparks.
Yeah, and it's basically when you're firing a live round, there's the casing, and then there's the bullet, and when the firing pin hits the back of the bullet, it
projects it out.
Yeah, it projects it out, and then the shell itself gets ejected out the side of the weapon. But
so what's in a blank?
Just whatever is necessary to make the pop, because
something has to hold. There has to be a wall between the front of the round and the gunpowder that would be in it, because the only thing that's going to spark when the hammer hits the pin, it's going to hit something that sparks the gunpowder.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not sure blanks even have the powder, at least not the ones I've fired. Yeah.
Then what would spark like that?
Well, I think having the blank firing adapter at the end of the barrel traps the gases in there so that it makes a pop, and then the whole blank round goes out the side of the weapon, and they're not reusable. But we almost had an incident kind of like this one when I was at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin for a month and a half back in 2017. I was working as range cadre for something called Operation Cold Steel. It was basically to...
This is in your military training?
Military experience. Yeah. The whole point of this exercise was reserve units came there for a week, brushed up on vehicle crew gunnery, because apparently there was an expectation that in the next big war, every soldier was going to have to defend themselves, like even the support soldiers like fuelers, mechanics, what have you. Anyway, I was on night shift on the ground fire range, which was the one range where the soldiers we were cycling through weren't on vehicles. They had foxholes where they would, carry the weapon out there and fire. And one day I got there for night shift, and there was what you might call some publicity going on, like people were there taking photos during the day, and we found a live round left in a 50 cal that the day shift crew had been moving around and posing for pictures with.
There was a live round in it?
Yes.
That's dangerous. A 50 cal cut you in half.
Yeah, those things are like... There's like an informal slogan for the 50 cal machine gun, which is F you and the guy next to you and the 4 people behind you.
Right, because that's how them things work. They can take out buildings with 50 cal bullets.
Not so much take out buildings so much as
50 cal rounds at tanks.
I know, but they'll punch through walls. Okay, and you can shoot somebody behind a wall with it, but the building is still going to be standing. You're just going to have, dead people and a few holes in the walls. It's an anti-personnel weapon. It's not for destroying big things like buildings.
You know what else punches through walls?
NoOutletLive.
NoOutletLive punches through the walls of the industry, the walls of your safe space on Facebook, the walls on YouTube.
We will break down the walls of Jericho. That was a WWE reference to help us cheat the algorithm.
Yeah, hopefully we come up on a website for WWE or something. Hold on, let me look for it.
Are there any other buzzwords we want to work into this program? What's popular right now that we should mention? Netflix, Squid Game.
Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Stitcher, Facebook, YouTube. That's all of the places that you can find No Outlet Live, because we're starting to branch out, baby, like the tree in your backyard that you've loved ever so much.
That will outlive you and all of your descendants. Well,
that's why you got to go out there and you got to carve your initials in it with a heart and the person you love for Halloween in a Jason mask.
And you're lucky the tree can't hit back, because I'm sure it would be pissed that you just digging it.
This is No Outlet Live. We're about to take a quick break. Don't forget to check out the people that have brought us to you, flathousepress.com. Go there and check out their merch and all their varieties of accessories and party toys and all the cool stuff they have. They work with us on some pretty neat stuff in the past. And also Guardian Roadside Solutions, for if you're stuck on the side of the road and you need some help, you need some gas because you ran out of gas, your battery just blanked out on the freeway or something. Call Guardian Roadside Solutions at 440-833-6000. They'll get you back on the road. We will be right back after this.
Of Jazz with your host Hakeem H, bringing you the absolute best for your listening pleasure in America's only true art form of music. I'll be playing your favorites each day, everything from Duke, Coltrane, Julian Cannonball Adderley, to George Duke, Bob James, Kenny G, and so many more. We'll have guest artists to interview, locally and national artists, and even a live call-in from you, the audience. Tune in daily from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. to unwind your day for the education of jazz. The Education of Jazz with your host Hakeem H, bringing you the absolute best for your listening pleasure in America's only true art form of music. I'll be playing your favorites each day, everything from Duke, Coltrane, Julian Cannonball Adderley, to George Duke, Bob James, Kenny G, and so many more. We'll have guest artists to interview, locally and national artists, and even a live call-in from you, the audience. Tune in daily from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. to unwind your day for the education of jazz. The Education of Jazz, with your host, Hakeem H., bringing you the absolute best for your listening.
COVID-19 is spreading profusely. There are hundreds, even thousands of cases occurring each and every day. Here are some ways you can help stop the spread of this devastating virus. First, avoid sharing food and drink with others, even family members. Wear a mask to protect each other, and cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue. With the holidays being right around the corner, we all want to stay safe so we're able to stop this awful disease so we have a better 2021.
I don't think these niggas know shit. I don't think these niggas know shit. I don't think these niggas know shit. This for all my gone ones, man. I love y'all. Life I'm trying to get to. Reminiscing days of a youngin' with no money, saying this money over bitches, but couldn't disrespect my mother. But now I'm out here chasing all this wealth that I've been missing, cause I'm surely that my family hates the dishes with my brother. And when I lost my auntie in that moment that she faded, and I seen my mother's eyes, she had me scared I wouldn't make it. But reminiscing every single moment she was with us, she would tell me I was destined in this world to be the greatest. She say, I love you, little man Tate. Now you still that young man that's trying to have them fans say he started with a landmine and ended with a landscape. Started with his mom and dad and ended with the same thing. And even if they weren't together, that didn't mean a damn thing. She picked up where he slacked it, and you know that that's a damn shame. You know, that's the life that y'all ain't new to. But I was back in 98, the life I had to get used to. But nigga, you know, nah, fuck that. I don't think these niggas know shit. Scratch that, these niggas, they don't know shit. Fuck that, these niggas, they don't know shit. Nah, man, these niggas, they don't know shit.
96% of adults go to work hungover the day after a holiday party. New Year's has the worst statistics, with almost 58% of highway deaths being alcohol related. 40% of highway deaths during the holidays are alcohol related. This holiday, stay home, stay at a friend's or a family's house. Be safe this holiday season. Don't drink and drive.
But I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh, you can't help that. Most everyone is mad here. You may notice that I'm not all there.
I don't think I'm crazy, just a little psychotic in the brain. Tell me, doctor, can you save me? Think I'm going a little insane. Doctor, can you feel me? Till the world just feels so numb. Doctor, can you heal me? Cause I just can't feel no one. No. Fuck this anxiety, it's all inside of me. Eating away at my innocence, building up ignorance as far as I can see. Whoa, get a hold of yourself. Whoa, get a hold of yourself. Whoa, what my conscience is telling me, but my anxiety is not letting me know. God damn it, I committed. But then you turn around and went and had the shit on a good guy. I didn't think that you meant it, but you let a bad man get all inside them good guys. And that bad man wasn't me, it was a man that you got introduced to. I should've went with the first instinct, man, I had a weird feeling about you too. The sad thing is you knew what you wanted to do. Wait, so I get screwed like the years didn't matter. All the shit we went through, places that we been to, all the shit you tried to do to me, we should've been through and threw it out the window. Lot of thoughts are wrapped around my head like a Hindu. The bitch so cold, could've lived in an igloo. Sometimes I swear I just wanna grab a pistol, take the pain and blow my brains, but that won't solve the issue. My heart had been misused, and I'm only 5'6", for me to fight this trick, man, he's 6'2". I remember saying about a week before you cheated, I had a feeling that you want yourself a big dude. At least you could've left me first. I swear the bitch rude, she didn't have to let me hurt. I don't think I'm crazy. Just a little psychotic in the brain. Tell me, doc, can you see me? Think I'm going a little insane. Doctor, can you feel me? Cause the world just feels so numb. Doctor, can you heal me? Cause I just can't feel no one. No, no, no. Fuck this anxiety, it's all inside of me. Eating away at my innocence, building up ignorance as far as I can see. Whoa, get a hold of yourself, whoa, get a hold of yourself, whoa. What my conscience is telling me, but my anxiety, it is not letting me know. You were that one, bitch, yeah, you were that one. Had as a family, you got mad at me, you had to go and spoil up fun. I lost my bitch, I lost my mind, I lost my soul, I lost my time. Almost 3 years to be exact. Now tell me, how the hell do I get that back? And fuck with my mind, torments my soul. All I wanna know is what was the reason? Was it the arguing, fighting, and screaming? I just don't know, but I know that I'm leaving. Your heart was a little misleading. I could've swore that you told me you need me, and I told you I'm gone if you cheated. How many times did I have to repeat it? Told you, bitch, that I really don't need it, but you was all that I needed. And man, my heart is really bleeding, but I guess it's that time of the season. I'm really at a loss for words. I'm really at a loss for words. Yeah.
No outlet, but I need to charge my phone.
No Outlet Live.
This is No Outlet Live, and we are back. We are back on track. We're going to bring you the greatest news from your favorite hosts on the North Coast, and also your favorite Ant on a Rant, Anthony Miano.
Not to be confused with the Marvel Comics character Ant-Man. Yeah,
Yes,
if we get big enough, either way, if we get big enough for them to notice us, they can't sue.
Yeah, and let's all collectively, all of us together now, everybody listening, everybody watching.
Although, actually, if they sued us without the intent to get paid, we wouldn't mind. That might actually help us.
So I brought something out into the studio right next to you, and I wanted to test something. So last episode, or a couple of episodes before this one, you had brought up that you have Asperger's, right?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that on air, but yes.
Well, I want to dive into this a little bit. Now, that is a high functioning autism, correct?
Yeah, okay. I'm confused on that because I've heard that it is a form of autism and that it is not. And
what was the explanation for why it's not?
I don't remember. I think it was removed from... There's this handbook called the DSM-5 for mental health professionals. It's like a comprehensive list of every mental disorder that they recognize.
And they linked you into the Asperger's one, which...
I think Asperger's was on it, but removed. Now, to put it in context, though, the list isn't exactly carved in stone. Just, for example... homosexuality used to be on this list.
Whoa, so they said it was a mental disorder.
And then they figured out, no, it's not. Take it off the list.
This is solely not PC. Let's take this
No, this was like well before the PC age. They figured out, okay, it's not a mental disorder. It's not a choice. Let's take it off the list.
Now, do you believe that you're on the spectrum?
I do, because...
Have you, I know that you're very technical with stuff, so I brought something into the studio, and I just wanted to test to see how you work with this.
Okay.
So right next to you on that table, there is a Rubik's Cube. I solved one side.
Okay.
How far have you ever solved a Rubik's Cube?
No, I don't think I've ever tried.
Yeah, you've never played with one of these?
Not that I can remember, no.
Let's see you try to pick it apart. I'll find us something to put in the background while you while you solve a Rubik's Cube.
Also, is this the side you solved right here?
Oh, I don't even have it fully solved because there's a yellow brick in there.
Yeah, okay, I thought maybe, like, there had been one brick designated as, like, it could be any color, but, Yeah, sure, I'll have a crack at it. Yeah, I can see how this thing would endanger the sanity of many of the people that try to use it.
I toyed with that thing for hours and hours and hours, and only was ever able to figure out one side.
Honestly, I think these things are probably designed to be solved by trial and error. I highly doubt anyone knows what they're doing with
There's a mathematical equation. There's a thing in the center that math puts it together. Now, I've watched videos on all of the different ways to solve it, and the fast ways, the rookie ways. It's almost like a chessboard. There's so many different ways to play it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what's that one Vanilla Ice lyric from Ice Ice Baby? If there's a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it. I'd like to, like, edit something into the video where somebody throws him one of these.
And he solves it with one hand, blindfolded.
Yeah, and then it's like those things that I keep seeing around election time on Facebook. It said, "Why should you vote Vanilla Ice? Because if there's a problem, he solves it, and he stops, collaborates, and listens." And I'm like, yeah, okay, they've got me there.
Your time's up. You can't solve it.
No,
I'm going to need you to find one of these, and I want you to work at it and come in to the studio with your own Rubik's Cube and solve it in front of us in under 2 minutes. Do you think you could do that for the No Outlet Live audience?
No.
Why not?
Well, look how far I don't feel like putting in that kind of time to practice it off camera and then remember how I did it.
It's a fun toy. It really can break your, when you're having like a weird stress or anything. I found that thing's very helpful. It takes my mind off of a lot of stuff.
Well, I'm glad it helps you.
So, besides that, let's jump into another news story. One that you sent me, I kind of am very interested in. So, BBC.com says the U.S. surgeons test a pig kidney transplant into a human. This came out on the 21st. So, what was that, Friday? Or no, that would be Thursday. Thursday, they finally have tested putting a pig's kidney into a human. They hope they could ultimately solve the donor organ shortages so that all the people that are on the waiting list to get a kidney, you could just go ahead and get yourself a pig kidney. The recipient was brain dead, meaning they're already on artificial life support with no prospect of recovering. Oh, perfect test subject.
Well, yeah, I mean, if anything goes wrong, well, how could you tell? It's kind of like those...
Yeah, don't worry about it. This person's already dead.
It's kind of like one of those antidepressant ads where they list the side effects, and one of them is suicidal thoughts or ideations, and I'm like, well, in this case, that warning's a bit redundant, because there's a good chance whoever's taking that medicine has those anyway, so if
Check this out. It says the kidney came from a pig that had been genetically modified to stop the organ being recognized by the body as foreign and being rejected, because that's such a common occurrence when it comes to people getting organ transplants and stuff, is that your body will reject the new organ sometimes.
You know, it sounds like a modern, more advanced version of Eli Whitney's invention. He was an 18th.
What was that?
He was an 18th century inventor. He's remembered for two things: one, the cotton gin, and two, interchangeable gun parts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so back then, because of the I guess you'd say crude, I don't know what the word is, the manufacturing process required each individual moving part of a gun to be made specifically for that gun. Like, if the firing pin broke, you would have to make a new firing pin for that gun.
Yeah, from the manufacturer himself. That's the way to keep you buying their product.
Well, I don't think that, I don't know if that was I don't think that it was a conspiracy or a plan. It was just, that was the best way that it could be done beforehand. Now, what he did for his sales pitch was he brought in like 10 guns, disassembled them, like threw all the pieces around, and then reassembled them all, and then fired them and proved that his interchangeable parts worked. So
that's wild. That's a wild thing.
So it sounds like what they're trying to do is make, like you have, like, as long as you have the correct size firing pin for that particular model of rifle, it sounds like they want to be able to do the same thing with human organs. And
so it says using pigs for transplants is not a new idea, though pig heart valves are already widely used in humans. I have heard of that, where they take the heart valves, because that's common for especially us Americans with our deadly Burger King eating and stuff like that. During the 2-hour operation at the New York University Langwon Health, Langwon, I like that. I'm probably saying it wrong.
It's probably Langione.
Langione? That don't look like a Langione.
How has it spelled? Langone?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was probably, whoever this person was, that was probably someone who no one ever mispronounced his name because he had enough money to have a hospital named after him.
It's the New York University Maricon Health Medical Center. The surgeons connected the donor pig kidney to the blood vessels of the brain-dead recipient to see if it would function normally once plumped in or be rejected. Surgeons transplanted a bit of the pig's thymus gland too, along with the kidney. I guess that's probably a pretty serious gland that goes to the kidney. And let's see. There's
What's
a
that
whole
one
lot of
part?
hoopla.
The traditional paradigm that someone else has to die for someone else to live.
Now is a pig's got to die for you to
Never
live.
going to keep up. Yeah.
Oh,
So
the traditional paradigm that someone has to die for someone else to live is never going to keep up, because now they have these pigs, and we already massively breed these pigs for bacon, for delicious bacon sandwiches.
And now, hopefully, this does bring to mind one potential problem. If the pigs that we get the heart valves from can still be used for bacon, and right,
and
because if this cuts into America's availability of bacon, I could just see protests where they're like, "F it, let that patient die. I want my bacon."
right.
Now that's probably not a problem, and
Well, no, because the organs, when you're getting bacon and all that just gets discarded.
Oh, okay, yeah. So basically, they're just gonna use something that they were gonna throw out before.
Yeah, bacon's on a back strap, so you're taking all that stuff. I mean, the back strap, the pork chop, the cheek muscle, all that good stuff.
Yeah, as the pig in Homer Simpson's dream said, the best meat's in the rump.
Yeah, it's a good old rump roast. So let's jump into another one, because that was kind of scary, to be honest with you.
Yeah, honestly, it sounded kind of like the setup for a horror movie where like some mad scientist tries to create some like human pig hybrid.
So I really, really love this story. Amazon worker at the Euclid facility, I've worked there. That's where I got my Amazon stock from. Wins $500,000 through company's Max Your Vax program. They had a program where they where you get thrown into a raffle if you get your vaccination, and this lady won $500,000, dude. Let's check out this news story. This looks like it's it.
Is that our teacher, Miss Anderson?
First, they're gonna play
That
a
must be
commercial.
Mr. Puddles.
City
And I'm gonna mute that, cause whoever does that sponsorship, we ain't playing it here.
We will
There
for
we
the
go.
right
Worker at
price
Amazon's
if
Euclid
any of those
facility
people are
has
watching.
a lot to smile about tonight. Her name is Arnita,
and she just won $500,000 in the company's vaccine lottery contest. And as photojournalist Kelly Matter tells us, she has big plans for the winnings.
Actually, I was coming in to do overtime on my day off and had just got to my station. And one of the managers, he was like, "Don't worry, you're not in trouble. It's nothing bad." And we walked down to the conference room, and I sat down in a chair in front of a laptop, FaceTiming with a manager away. And she said, "Well, congratulations, you're one of the winners." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And then she said, you want to know how much you won?" I was like, "Yes." And she told me $500,000. I just started crying. I was so excited. I just started thanking God because this is a blessing and a miracle to me. I never would have thought. I'm like, me? Are you sure you have the right person? When I first got my vaccination, I was so like a lot of other people. So mixed emotions. I had to pull money from my 401, my retirement, to make things work. I had to get on unemployment for a while before, doing this pandemic. That was the most exciting, blissful, exciting, amazing day of my life so far.
That is fantastic. Arnita says she plans on staying and working for Amazon, but she may decide to go part-time.
Yeah, she's lying. She quit her job right away. That's enough money where you just start your own company.
Yeah, if you're a masochist.
I mean, what do you mean a masochist?
Sorry, just from what I hear about people owning their own companies, working like 20 hours a day, and to me, I'm like, yeah, people don't own companies. Companies own them.
If you do the hard work, you will get the reward.
Hopefully.
I mean, it's not hopefully. A lot of big, large, multi-million-dollar companies start in garages and stuff like that. I came up with an idea for an invention that I think I could bring to Shark Tank. Ever since that show came out, although we did cover a story where O'Leary was robbing people or whatever, but besides that, I think I have a very great idea that could start in a garage. And I will tell you guys right after this break from No Outlet Live, brought to you by FlatHousePress.com and Guardian Roadside Solutions. If you're stuck on, you know what? Just check them out. Don't forget to look us up on Google. Go to your Google search bar, put No Outlet Live in one word, and you'll find our shows. You'll find the newest ones. You'll find where we podcast that. Just look us up and tell us what you find. In the meantime, we'll be right back with my slick inventions.
$15 or the quarantine $20, LA Fitness in Cuyahoga Falls might be just the place for you. With weights, swimming pools, basketball, racquetball, cycling, Zumba, and yoga. Work out with your friends or under the supervision of one of their many qualified trainers. Affordable rates available. Student discounts included. LA Fitness in Cuyahoga Falls in the Porter's Crossing development. Call 930-922-622-4111. Don't wait. Start your fitness journey now.
Have you ever wondered where to get the hands-on training to be on the radio or even on the news? Ohio Media School. Take the quiz online on the website beonair.com to see if media broadcasting is the right field for you. Learn by doing is the school style. We know there is no substitute for operating the tools of broadcasting under the direction of broadcast professionals. The classes and studio sessions are run with the same professional informality that is found throughout the broadcast industry. Ohio Media School, 216-503-5900, or visit the campus at 9885 Rockside Road, Independence, Ohio. Ohio Media School, where broadcasting dreams become reality.
We'll warn you right now, things may get a little fucked up and crazy.
What's even worse is I had a kid come in, and I was shitting in the urinal, and he came in, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
But if that's something you're into, then Mikes and Men is the show for you. The boys are going to cover it all without holding back. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry, and you could learn a thing or two. It's Mikes and Men, only on CBW.
96% of adults go to work hungover the day after a holiday party. New Year's has the worst statistics, with almost 58% of highway deaths being alcohol related. 40% of highway deaths during the holidays are alcohol related. This holiday, stay home, stay at a friend's or a family's house. Be safe this holiday season. Don't drink and drive.
The hottest DJ.
Buddy Addison's here to make sweet, sweet love to your ears whenever the fuck I feel like it. Tune in to CBW and maybe if you're lucky, I'll be on.
Or just invite me over for a good time.
I got 50 on the weed, I got 50 on the drink. I got money in the bank, give a damn what you think. Drink so much lean, it's hard for me to think. I'm a die real nigga doing shit that you can't. I got 50 on the weed, I got 50 on the drink. I got money in the bank, give a damn what you think. Drink so much lean, it's hard for me to think. I'm a die real nigga doing shit that you can't. I got 50 on a bottle, my bitch is like a model. Nigga fuck with me, they gon' catch a hollow. They don't want no problems, if they do we solve them. My nigga got them choppers, fuck crime stoppers. Higher than the helicopter, I need a head doctor. Everywhere we go, it seem the feds watching. I was built for this shit, I need a meal for this shit. When I pull up, look at the wheels on this bitch. They try to kick us out, but we still in this bitch. Reaching for my chain, you get killed in this bitch. I do what I want, fuck how you feel in this bitch. If I die tonight, I'ma die real in this bitch. I got 50 on the weed, I got 50 on the drink. I got money in the bank, give a damn what you think. Drink so much lean, it's hard for me to think. I'm a die real nigga doing shit that you can't. I got 50 on the weed, I got 50 on the drink. I got money in the bank, give a damn what you think. Drink so much lean, it's hard for me to think. I'm a die real nigga doing shit that you can't.
Double 50, I'm 100. Settle on the summit. On top of garbage artists, thinking that they run it. Who you know that won battles? A 50 on the drink, smoke a dank to the bank. Why laughing? You a has-been. Creeping on the come up. Yeah, I'm coming. All these youngers better button up the stomach. The certified wave on the packing luggage. Got these old heads bugging. Millennials be tugging. On my balls, on the go, I'm on the car. From the window to the walls, front stage to the stars. Everywhere we go, we going hard. And pull me up a shot on the spine, cut the target.
I got 50 on the weed, I got 50 on the drink. I got money in the bank, give a damn what you think. Drink so much lean, it's hard for me to think. I'm a die real nigga doing shit that you can't. I got 50 on the weed, I got 50 on the drink. I got money in the bank, give a damn what you think. Drink so much lean, it's hard for me to think. I'm a die real nigga doing shit that you can't.
I got 50 on the weed, 20 on the drink. Got these bitches running, got them coming like a damn train. Railroad and everything. I'm a juggernaut on X-Men. Had that for success, man. Nothing but the best for the best. I done learned not to stress. Stacking up like Tetris. All about the Nero. Smoking Avatar Kush, feeling like a hero. Lean got me seeing slow, but I'm still gonna rock the show. Certified, that's for sure. Got the glow like Bruce Leroy. All about them 50s and them hottest. Man, I really
Xfinity Internet includes an Xfinity Flex 4K streaming box with Peacock Premium at no extra cost. It's full of tons of free movies and shows. Xfinity, it's your way better way to watch.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $9.
I'm a die real nigga doing shit that you can't. I got 50 on the weed, I got 50 on the drink. I got money in the bank, give a damn what you think. Drink so much lean, it's hard for me to think. I'm a die real nigga doing shit that you can't.
No outlet, but I need to charge my phone.
No Outlet Live.
So we're back, and I was just teasing you guys a little bit about this invention that I thought about the other day. So I was scrolling through videos on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or something. I can't remember where I was scrolling, but I was just looking at, I love social media because of the videos. Some of them are very, like how-to videos. I love them. I love watching the how-tos and like little simple tricks that you don't usually get, or something funny. I want to see something funny or something very informational. So what I came up with was I watched a video on one of these sites, and I found one that was similar to it on YouTube to what I was watching, and I came up with an invention. So I'm gonna show you one of the videos that I watched, and then I'll tell you my invention afterwards.
Okay, and for our audience, I'll be as surprised as you are here.
Have you ever come up with an invention?
I did once, only to be informed that it wasn't feasible due to the laws of chemistry.
Whoa, what kind of invention was this?
A pharmaceutical blender. After watching my dad and my grandfather both be on like a dozen meds each for years, I got the idea, what if... Okay, you know how there's like a blender that you can make smoothies with?
Yeah, but you're going to make like a medical smoothie.
Yeah, something
pills.
like basically, yeah, where you put your pills into a blender and then they consolidate all your meds into a single pill. Now, my doctor best friend informed me that because of the unique chemical composition of different meds that
you could be making a bomb or a poison.
No, he just said it would, like, the meds would not individually work as intended if you did that.
Oh, wow, yeah, because it's weird how that works, how, like, certain meds, they target certain things, and I've always wondered, how do they create this pill to target that one thing?
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know that it costs hundreds of millions to develop every new one, and it takes roughly a decade from idea to on the market for every new med.
So let me show you what sparked the idea for my new garage invention.
You know, the garage itself was invented years ago. You're not going to try to pitch that, are you?
No, that's not what I'm pitching, Ant. See these nasty faucets?
Okay.
Disgusting. What people do is they take these bags full of vinegar and you put it up in there and you just let the vinegar sit. Simple, nothing crazy. But you see how this lady's doing it? She's taking a little Ziploc and they'll take rubber bands and things like that, just strap it on there, and then you take it off, and when you look through the bag, there's like all this these like deposits and rust and crap that builds up in your faucet. So when you vinegar it and scrub it with a toothbrush or something like this person, see all them nasty flakes? You could be drinking that, bathing in it. There's all kinds of grossness that could come out of your sink head. So I was watching one of these videos and I'm like, wow, this is very practical. This is something that everybody could possibly want to purchase due to seeing a video like this. This is how the people that used to sell the super powerful Hoover vacuums would walk street to street and house to house, knocking and showing you how they could vacuum the skin out of your bed.
Yeah, I literally had that job once, except it was for the Kirby home care system.
Kirby's also, yeah, they do the same thing. They'll vacuum the skin out of your sofa, your bedding.
Yeah, that's the job where I can say that I've been threatened with having my head mounted and stuffed on a wall.
Yeah, you're going into creepy people's neighborhoods.
Oh no,
houses.
this dude wasn't even creepy. He was just a guy that likes to hunt, and he had animal heads on the wall. And I almost said, hey, listen, buddy, anybody desperate enough to take this job? Death is not going to be much of a threat to them.
Well, you can't be throwing this energy out there, because I might be hiring some people that are listening to move my product, which you'll do the same thing. You'll be going door to door, and what you'll do is let me go back to this scene and show you. So hold on, let me find where it's at here. Okay, right here. You see how they have to like you have to kind of finagle a bag on there and put the rubber band on and hold it up, and they say you want to keep it there for about 15 to 20 minutes before you pop the bag of vinegar out. What I'm thinking is to make like a silicone like a silicone thing that has an entry hole on the side that you just snap a thing around and it holds onto your faucet. And then there's an opening at the top where you pour the vinegar in. It's reusable, dishwasher friendly, and you can safely not worry about spilling vinegar all over yourself while you're trying to do this, because not everybody's faucets are shaped like what's in this video. Usually you get a difficult one and you're going to get vinegar all over your hands and stuff. I want to make an easy to use, reusable sink vinegar thing.
I like the idea.
Doesn't sound bad, right? Now,
of course, before this video, it never occurred to me to possibly do this at all. And don't get me wrong, I'm not some slob that never cleans.
But that's what got me is I was scrolling through videos and I saw somebody doing this. He was like, I heard this, so we're going to try it ourselves on our
This is what
YouTube
Rachel
video.
Sanders
Damn
uses
it.
to keep her diabetes in check.
No,
This
not.
is how Rachel's PBM helps lower costs for her diabetes.
I was like, okay, I was like,
Amazon.
Jeremy, you're really overselling, you're really overhyping this invention. Cleaning up rust, I can believe, but curing diabetes...
Maybe it does. Maybe I got like the miracle invention here where I can sell it and say, this will help your diabetes. This will help you with weight loss. This will help your cholesterol.
Yeah, it's like that
kidney stones.
It's like I read this list once. Shower thoughts of like epiphanies people have had in the shower. I think one of them was, what if oxygen is actually lethal and it just takes 70 to 80 years to kill you?
Oh man, I never thought of that.
Yeah, so there's only one solution.
They do say oxygen's a big part of aging.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's what makes things decompose. I mean, oxygen.
Well, it makes them decompose after they're dead. It doesn't.
But we're decomposing while we're alive because you get all old and your boobs start to hang and.
I think that's what medical science should stop trying to prolong the average lifespan and just focus on keeping us physically young. Like, I'd rather be dead at
forever young.
I'd rather be dead at 70 and looking 30 than live to 100 and looking 100. You know what I mean?
I beg to disagree. I would rather look 1,000 and be 150.
Wow. Yeah, it's like
just to see what life would be like at the year 2100. That would be so mind-blowing to see how far things have progressed or went the opposite way.
Yeah, I gotta say the one thing that would make me want to do that is the possibility of first contact with extraterrestrial life.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
And I have a rather specific definition of first contact. Like, for me, finding definitive proof that there were microbes on Mars, no. I mean, like...
An actual living thing that has some sort of intelligence.
Or even, like I was saying last week, it's been predicted that extraterrestrials will send their unmanned probes here before...
Well, I think that's what all the UFO stuff is that unmanned probes like drones.
Maybe. There's a good chance, because think about it. Whatever the distance is between us and the nearest intelligent life out there in the galaxy, or in the universe is, they have to travel that equal distance to get here.
I mean, it could be just in the galaxy. We can't explore the whole galaxy. There's probably millions of planets just in the galaxy alone.
Yeah, and I have so many other theories about why we haven't made first contact yet. Among them is, there might be some alien civilization out there that knows we're here.
It's on the moon.
No, I was going to say that is debating what to do. They're like, okay, so do we want to talk to these people or not?
Would it be like that episode of South Park where they bribe us with they send down the guy to do the heist, and then he's like, I stole all this money from the Intergalactic Federation, and I need you guys to look out for me and hold on to it.
Yeah, so they thought they killed him. That was one big elaborate test to determine if Earth was ready to be a member of the intergalactic community. Of
And
course,
then they held on to all the fake money and started nuking each other over it.
no, I think they only nuked one country that was
Yeah.
going to spill the beans. I think it was Sweden or maybe Finland, but
It was Finland. It was Finland.
the country that managed to fight off a Russian invasion despite being outnumbered 10-1 in nearly every military category.
Before we get too deep into the rabbit hole of cartoons, let's jump into some more news over here. Let's see what we got. Is this... No, I sent this one in. Hold on, am I on the right screen? Yes, I am. So, according to TechRadar.com, the GTA Trilogy remastering is coming out pretty soon. So they took the first new gen Grand Theft Autos, like the
Vice City,
San Andreas, and I'm pretty sure it was Grand Theft Auto 3 that came out on PlayStation. That was New York and Liberty City. Now they're remastering them to just, I think they're keeping the whole game together, but they made it look like today's graphics.
Yeah.
Which would be so excellent. Are you a big fan of Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, I've played all I don't know, all, at least story mode anyway, most of the side quests on Vice City Stories, GTA 4, and GTA 5. And I gotta say, like, the graphics from GTA Vice City looked kind of like blocky, like 1980s.
Yeah, it's super blocky in all of them old ones.
At least the people in those games look that way. Now the city,
like, even if you look at CJ right here, he's all kind of, the way they built him, it's a little wonky, and that one looked great when it came out.
Yeah, I gotta say, that picture looks, if I didn't know what it was from, I would think it was like a side mission from GTA 5, maybe.
Are you serious? That looks nothing close to that.
Okay, well, either way, it looks a lot better than it did in 2004. And full disclosure, I didn't play San Andreas, but I know that...
Oh, it was one of the best games. So yeah, they're remastering that. I'm pretty excited that they're going to bring it back out with good graphics, because San Andreas was an incredible game, and so was Vice City. Now, the one in New York, I don't know.
I never played that one at all. Yeah,
It was a great game when it came out, but that wasn't my thing.
Yeah, Vice City was basically like it was almost like Scarface, the video game, and
there was a Scarface video game. You remember that?
Yeah, but this one was okay. That one was about Tony surviving the attack at the end of the movie and rebuilding his empire. But Vice City is like the closest thing to a video game where you play as Tony Montana just arriving in the United States and building his way up. And the mansion Tommy Vercetti takes over was a blatant copy of Tony Montana's mansion.
Yeah, I loved that, and it had all the little passageways and stuff in it,
and a replica of The Office. And okay, there was one thing I think they left out, probably to avoid copyright infringement. The fountain with the Atlas statue and the globe,
right.
The world is yours, which made for a great irony shot at the end of Scarface, because he's literally in a pool of his own blood.
All right, so let's dive into this other one that you sent in to me. The dailydot.com says a former Starbucks worker says customer threw a Frappuccino at her in the drive-thru because there wasn't a cherry on top. Please tell me there's a video for this. Oh, here we go, a TikTok.
What's the most disrespectful thing that's happened to you in the service industry? I'll go first.
I have been looking for this sound forever to finally share my truth. So excuse the fact that I look busted right now, but it's time. So when I was in high school, I did running start and also did cheer. And so I had a lot of fees to pay, like a lot. And my parents were always so supportive of me doing it, but they were like, if you're going to do these activities, like, you need to put in your own money, which was never a problem with me. So I decided to get a job at Starbucks. But because I had cheer and classes, I literally had like barely any time to work, so I'd have to work really early in the morning. But really early in the morning, we never had as many customers as we did like during rush hour. And so I would work in the window by myself a lot. This lady pulls up and she already just has this really negative energy to her. And I say, hi, like, good morning, like, what can I get started for you? And she rolls her eyes. And she's like, I just need my morning coffee. And I'm like, okay, like, what exactly is your morning coffee, ma'am? And she orders a Frappuccino. I'm so sorry if you love Frappuccinos, but if it is 5 o'clock in the morning and you're ordering a Frappuccino and you're a grown-ass woman, I'm gonna judge you because I am a hater before I'm a human. And I'm like, can I get anything else for you? Like, in my super annoying customer service voice. And she's like, no, but can I get a cherry on top of my Frappuccino? And I'm like, what? And she's like, a cherry. And like, I'm like, what? And I'm like, we don't have cherries. And she just blows up. And she's like, I've been to multiple Starbucks and they've always put a cherry on top of my Frappuccino. Like, this has never been an issue. And I'm like, okay, well, we don't have them here. Sorry, queen. And she informs me that she will pull up to the window and we can solve the problem up there. And I'm like, great, see you at the window. So she just starts going off at the window and is so upset. So I pull over my manager.
First of all, I really, really, really hate this girl. She's... I mean, maybe I hate the customer too. Maybe I would hate both of these people.
And I'm like, hey, this lady would love a cherry on top of her Frappuccino. And my manager is like, we don't have cherries. And I'm like, of course we don't, because this isn't fucking Sonic. This is Starbucks. And so then I just try to like continue the conversation and kind of diffuse her anger. And I'm like, you're
And then she bombed her with a Frappuccino, probably deservingly. She could have just made it very simple at the very beginning and been like, look, I don't know, I'm sorry, we don't have them here. And then stop engaging with this lunatic lady looking for her cherry on top of a Frappuccino.
Yeah.
I kind of understand the girl's position. Who the hell gets a Frappuccino and they're like, I have to have my cherry on top?
Yeah, people... Starbucks and McDonald's or wherever you go to order food at all, they don't have what they don't have. You're just...
But the girl at the window, the girl that made the TikTok, the whole video right there just sounded like this.
Well, she might have just been embellishing for the camera. We don't know. Now I'm starting to wonder if you just had a stroke.
I feel like I'm having a stroke or an aneurysm from that girl's voice alone.
Oh, I've heard much worse. Like, I'm sorry, you almost sounded like you were mocking Asian people there. There is no need to send an exorcist here. My partner is not suffering from demonic possession yet.
Yes, I am. So give me a cherry on top of my Frappuccino.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you might have actually been funnier than that video, but I
think I might, I did start a NoOutletLive TikTok, so maybe I will make my, my version of that, and I'll just be like, oh, so this girl came for a Frappuccino, and she really wanted a cherry on top of it.
Yeah, I've worked with the public, I've worked in customer service, and,
it's horrible. I'll never do it again. I remember that was like one of my first jobs.
Yeah, I worked in a Circle K, and apparently the idea of single item at regular retail price is more complicated than most people can handle.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of idiots in this world.
Oh, no, and these people weren't necessarily idiots. Maybe there was a force field around the Circle K that cut people's IQs in half when they entered.
I also worked at a Circle K at one time, and that's a local Cleveland gas station. I don't know how widespread it is.
They've got locations in California. I'm pretty sure it's nationwide.
Okay, so nationwide Circle K. I know that they have Frappuccinos, and I've never had anybody walk in. They're like, "Hey, dude, like, where's the cherries, bro? For my Frappuccino, dog, or my cappuccino. I need the cream on top in a cherry right now. We're gonna have some problems, bro."
Yeah, some people were just...
My boyfriend totally needs his cherry on his cappuccino.
Yeah, it's one thing to... I mean, I can't be too judgmental because I had a regular order at the venue I used to go to trivia night at, on tap in Stowe, that for a while I was unaware had actually been removed from the menu, but they kept making it. It was something called an ultimate burger, which was basically just a regular burger, but with like 3 different kinds of cheese. And yeah,
somebody was like, "What is this BS going on here? This ain't ultimate. It's just a cheeseburger."
Yeah, it basically was just a cheeseburger with more cheese, but at some point I was told that they had actually taken it off the menu, but it was a minimal departure from stuff they made regularly anyway. So they just kept making it every time I ordered it. But
you never like got the wrong burger and just threw it back at the girl through the window that was like, "Sorry, we totally don't make an ultimate burger no more."
No, I never did. And if they had said, "Hey, it's off the menu, we can't make it," I would have just picked something else, which I eventually did anyway.
You know, a good thing, I know you're not a huge fan of fast food, but one thing I've always loved to make is you go to Burger King, you get the original chicken sandwich. That's the long one that's built like a sub almost. It's like a half a sub sandwich, but it's got a nice chicken fillet on there, and you have them build it like a Whopper, and it's...
that idea never occurred to me. I loved the Whopper back when I went there.
Yeah, it's incredible to try to play with their menu if they're down for it. If it's a super long line, don't do it, because I mean, I guess you could, but that's kind of like hassling.
I don't know. The Burger King I used to go to, the one close by where I live, the line took longer than normal, and I didn't complain at all. But the manager, "I'm so sorry about that. Here's a coupon for a free Whopper."
Oh yeah, that's a big win right there. Except for they do send them a lot. When I get them in the mail, it's like a whole page of Burger King coupons. I'll hang on to them all the time because they give you great deals.
Yeah, they do.
For all that fake food.
I am going to clarify, when I say I'm not a big fan of fast food, I actually am. I love eating it. I've made myself stop eating most of it the last couple of years.
That makes sense. You're making a mental note that, like, this is bad for you.
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of like that documentary Super Size Me. I'm sure
it made me hungry the whole time I watched it.
Yeah, it's funny. The doctors that examined Morgan Spurlock at the end of that, one of them said, "Actually, this amount of McDonald's that Mr. Spurlock ate is healthy if consumed over a span of 20 years.
Oh my God. And he ate it, a month? I think he ate just nothing but
McDonald's.
Big Macs.
No, he didn't limit himself just to Big Macs. It was like he went there all 3 meals a day, and one of the rules was if they offered to supersize it, he had to accept.
Oh, and that wasn't just a month, though. I think he did that for a long time. Wasn't it like a year or something?
I doubt it. Either way, I know he converted to vegetarianism right after that, and he actually married the vegetarian chef that helped him.
It's been a long time since I watched that. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go on a quick break. This is NoOutletLive. When we come back, we're going to watch the trailer to that movie again, because it's been a little while since that came out.
Like 16 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I heard that dude had to stop doing challenges like that, and now he has to eat like super healthy because he had like clogged arteries and all kinds of stuff from it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I completely understand how that could make him stop eating meat.
Yeah, definitely I would too. But this is No Outlet Live. Look us up on Google. Just put No Outlet Live in one word into your Google search bar. You'll find everything that we do and all the places that you could find our show or listen. We're only live on Facebook at the moment. I'm still working out some technical difficulties to get us streaming from different areas at one time. Once I figure it out, you will know to just catch us on whatever platform is easier for you. We are brought to you by FlatHousePress.com and Guardian Roadside Solutions. We will be right back.
Change everything. We're shutting you down.
Tell me about the last time you took drugs.
The last time I took drugs, I probably took more than anybody could survive. You know.
What are we talking about? How much?
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear. Go.
How do you survive that?
Because I'm me.
Timer. I'm back. Timer. So watch me do it, huh? Look. Yeah. I lay my shit down with my signature. They say Tama is a clown, so immature. I do this for the ladies and I prefer. If a hat is on the handle, do not disturb. I'm busting down the herb, crack the swisher. Screaming like my pack, she like a fisher. 24 baby face, so them balls won't serve. Me without my ID, it's getting on my nerve. Big shine on my haters, boy, I'm like Swerve. City ain't close to cash, we taking over the earth. A pint of Jack Daniels and a can of that verve. Got me on another level, way above your turf. Frankie even knows that your boy do work. I stepped up in the club with stains on my shirt, cause the city's a big pussy and I'm making a squirt. On stage getting played, Drake folks and pop a perk like this is how we do it. Watch us how we do so watch me do it. I'ma put you through it. For my 90s babies. This is how we do it. Watch us how we do so watch me do it. Roll call. Marissa, Alyssa, Amber, Melissa, Amanda, Jenna, Brandy, and Tessa got dressed up and banged my dress up. From Megan to Morgan and Jessica. Ashley walked past me, now she the next up. Sierra, Hillary, the Aaron slut. The same time with Brittany and Bethany in the cut. A little time of forever, we're getting in them guts. And when I sit crown, they observe how I gets down with all them curves. I was always taught to share, so just wait your turn. Get a rubber prepared, aware, scared of a burn. Ages 18 to the 33rd, we gon' make things get real berserk. Because I'm turning up in the club and I made your girl twerk with 2 Patron bottles and a quarter of perks. Screaming, this is how we do it. Watch us how we do so watch me do it. I'ma put you through it. Put them through it. Watch us how we do so watch me do it. This is how we do it. Watch us how we do so watch me do it. Where my heat boys at? I need cocaine, X, and a lot of liqueur. Got you feeling my tricks and love my decor. You're my best decoration, but naked on the floor. Walls, tables, even the store. Style like a Ford, cause I wanna explore. I'ma do it better than anybody before me. Your mother adores me, a service to poorly. I'm getting lucky more in a 4-leaf. Clover, got her popping and dropping and bend over. Hit her at home like I was Sammy Sosa. She calling me Casanova. I'm the Fresh Prince, like the next generation of Will Smith's taking over. The same way Jay-Z turned into Hova. My Beyonce stand at attention for a soldier and drop it to the floor for my super big horror tour. This is how we keep coming back for more, cause this is how we do it. Watch us how we do so watch me do it. I put him through it. Watch us how we do it. This is how we do it. 2015. So watch me do it. Close to cash. Shout out to Jakiro. So hey, do it. This is how we do it in Ohio. This is how we do it in Cleveland. And this is how we do it in Toledo. This is how we do it in Detroit. This is how we do it in NYC. This is how we do it where you be at. Wherever the fuck you at. Do it. And that's how I do it.
Some are saying that you're bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean?
I guess that, you know, you're on 2 ends of the spectrum.
Wow. And then what? What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm by winning.
Are you looking to lose the freshman 15 or the quarantine 20? LA Fitness in Cuyahoga Falls might be just the place for you. With weights, swimming pools, basketball, racquetball, cycling, Zumba, and yoga. Work out with your friends or under the supervision of one of their many qualified trainers. Affordable rates available. Student discounts included. LA Fitness in Cuyahoga Falls in the Portage Crossing Development. Call 930-922-622-4111. Don't wait. Start your fitness journey now.
Have you ever wondered where to get the hands-on training to be on the radio or even on the news? Ohio Media School. Take the quiz online on the website beonair.com to see if media broadcasting is the right field for you. Learn by doing is the school style. We know there is no substitute for operating the tools of broadcasting under the direction of broadcast professionals. The classes and studio sessions are run with the same professional informality that is found throughout the broadcast industry. Ohio Media School, 216-503-5900, or visit the campus at 9885 Rockside Road, Independence, Ohio. Ohio Media School, where broadcasting dreams become reality.
No outlet, but I need to charge my phone.
No Outlet Live.
So I looked up these intros, or the trailers, I should say, of what we were teasing before we left. Super Size Me. It's an older movie.
And now we will do the please. And if Amanda Casey is watching or listening, don't say none of your students ever remembered anything. Don't say your students never remembered what you taught them, because we learned the T's and please from you.
Yeah, shout out Amanda Casey, man. She's out on the radio on 94...
No, she's on 97.5.
97.5,
WONE, the buzzard.
Oh, man. They ain't the buzzard.
They're not?
No, the buzzard is WMMS. That's 100.7 is the buzzard.
Well, either way, though, that was a... Yeah,
Amanda Casey, shout out to you. So I remember we met in the school, me and you, and I first noticed you in Amanda Casey's class before she got back onto another radio gig. And
yeah, we were literally her last teaching cycle before she went back to the radio.
Yeah, she was not feeling doing the teaching thing for too much longer, but I do remember when she taught everybody to hit the posts, and I nailed it. First try. I crushed up hitting the post.
Yeah, I think I did pretty good at that too. Of course, that's not what we're doing anymore, so let's get right into...
We can. We can if we wanted to, but we don't have like a station. We're not doing anything station because we don't have no leashes. This is No Outlet Live. One word if you look us up on Google. We have no leashes. We can be tamed, but we don't have leashes.
Yeah, as Dr. Evil would say, right.
Perfect. So let me jump into... This is the Super Size Me 1. I grabbed 1 and part 2. So let's check this out real quick.
Could I get the double quarter pounder with cheese meal? I think I'm going to have to go super size.
It's hard for me to watch him go through this.
So it seems like you're starting to get addicted to it now.
You saw these numbers, right? These numbers are outrageous.
Unfortunately, you caused some major harm to your heart, your liver, your blood.
You're gonna die. You'll die. I want more. You gotta stop.
Besides the American way, getting fat, getting broke, either way you're gonna...
I had to mute that because I'm scared of getting our show pulled off of YouTube. This is Super Size Me. La 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 la. Look at him puking.
Super size.
Yeah, that's how the song sounds.
Yeah,
that was pretty gross. I remember watching that when he puked right out of the car window. I mean, it was a heavy puke.
I gotta say, there was one thing about that surprised me when you heard that woman's voice say, "You're becoming addicted."
Yeah, and he was like, I need more.
Because I would think, what I would expect during that experiment was he would develop an aversion as he went on. Like, he would hit a point where he's like, I don't want this anymore. He would be like making himself eat it.
Exactly. That's how I would get if I was eating the same thing for too long. I am going to, well, I don't know, depending on the situation. I mean, if you're starving and don't have nothing, that's going to suffice. But if you have options, I would rather not eat the same thing every day.
Yeah, when I ate MREs in the military, that's short for meals ready to eat.
Yeah, I've heard them things are just disgusting,
well,
except for a certain few.
They've been working on improving them, and I've been out for 3 years, so there's a good chance that there's been some improvement, but most of them I found, and full disclosure, I've never been hurting for food, but I would be like, well, this was marginally preferable to starvation.
Yeah, I mean, if you're starving, anything is going to work out very well for you. But having the option and you're just eating nonstop McDonald's, dude, I would be forcing myself to eat it after so long.
I can also see, well, I mean, every human being is different. Yeah, okay, I can see how someone could get addicted and want more and more.
I'm addicted. I mean, every now and then I get the craving. I have to have it.
Yeah, I don't think it counts as an occasional craving. I think addiction is, that's when
like
you're
being
thinking about
heroin junkie or something.
It's my understanding that when anyone's addicted to anything, that's all they want to do, and when they're not doing it, it's all they can think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's look at the second trailer. All right, so that was Super Size Me 2004. Woo, we're going on 2 decades. So this is the second one that came out later on.
Food. The most eaten animal on the planet. Chicken. If I can have the farm that brings the chickens to the restaurant, that's a good story.
Go forth and find your chickens.
So now he's
I am
just
your
eating
chicken father.
sandwiches.
That is a lot of chickens. My free-range, cage-free, no hormones added, humanely raised, natural chickens can get the USDA's seal of approval.
Sounds amazing.
Until you start to realize how much of that is labeling. What's the smallest space we could give them that would still be quantified as free-range? Free-range.
Welcome to your fluorescent lit restaurant.
Everywhere you touch is just greasy and sticky.
It's like somebody cleaning the grill with like cleaning solvent.
Ugh, research is what this is. Welcome to Chicken Corporate Training. Woo!
They've been health washing the dirty, unhealthy truth.
Fresh green herbs give a health halo.
The term fried has evolved to crispy.
Artificial grill marks.
You can paint them on with dark food coloring.
How healthy are our sandwiches? I think that answers my question. What if there was a company that was completely honest with their customers?
Well, why would they do that?
Are people actually ready for a 100% honest food experience?
Oh, look, it's hollow. You can actually put it on like a mitt. You should not be able to do this with a chicken sandwich.
Wow. Incredible. This man will just put his body through the ringer.
Well, I don't know. It sounds like he's not doing that as much this time around. It sounds like he's just...
He looked like he was in a lot better health for this second movie.
Well, that's because he lowered his own bar so much with the first that it's kind of like how, like after the Cleveland Browns had those 2 seasons where they won 1 game out of 32, of course, it was likely they would improve the season after that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It blows my mind that this guy was able to do that.
As for that a company being honest with its customers, completely honest, the closest thing I've seen to that was in this 2009 film, The Invention of Lying. Do you remember that one?
No, I haven't seen that.
So, British comedian, actor Ricky Gervais put together this movie where humanity never figured out how to lie. So everyone is just completely honest at all times. And, of course, there's no fiction as well.
Now, I am starting to recall this now. That was a Netflix special, wasn't it?
No, it got a full theatrical release.
The Invention of Lying with Ricky Gervais. I swear I remember this.
And it had some pretty well-known supporting actors, too. Jennifer Garner, Rob Lowe, Jonah Hill, and Louis C.K.
Wow.
All playing supporting parts. So anyway, there's this one part where our main character, played by Gervais, goes to bed at night and he sees an ad for Coke. and it's just like a guy standing next to a pedestal with a can of Coke on it, and the guy's like, "Hi, I'm Bob. If you like Coke, I'd like to remind you to continue buying Coke. Well, to be honest, we haven't really changed anything. We it's still basically brown sugar water and can contribute to obesity in people with an unhealthy diet. We did make the can red, and we added a polar bear so the kids would like us. So I'm Bob, and I work for Coke, and I'd like to remind you to continue buying Coke."
I'm telling you, sometimes a lot of these companies, especially beverage companies, for some reason, for a long time, were using certain animals to really ring you in, like the Budweiser frog. Those were the ones that really got people going, and their horses.
Oh no, the Budweiser frogs, they were like funny for a minute, and then people were like, "Okay, I'm gonna run over those frogs with my truck," like that guy in Australia that's trying to kill as many cane toads as possible.
But do you remember all the Super Bowl commercials of like Coca-Cola where they had like the actual polar bear footage and all that stuff?
Yeah, that I liked, but I was picturing what so this invention of lying movie got me thinking about like what other things would be like in a world where people can't lie. And I imagine politicians would still be like, "My fellow Americans, I have no idea how to solve any of our nation's problems. I have neither the requisite experience or education in foreign policy, healthcare, education, or economics to solve anything that's going on right now. But I am certain of one thing, that my wife is hotter than my opponent's wife."
That's the only battle cry you need.
So they would still be able to, they wouldn't be able to lie, but they would still find ways to bullshit. And I imagine being a police detective would be an incredibly easy job in this world, because the investigation would be like, "Okay, and where were you at the time of the murder, sir?" "I was at the scene of the murder, committing the murder."
Except for not for the Brian Laundrie case, which also just broke new news, where he was found dismembered in the woods.
Now I'm wondering, from what I've heard, it's most likely he just died of dehydration, starvation, exposure, and
a mountain lion.
Well, here's the thing. It's not natural for animals to attack humans unless they are really hungry or if they feel threatened.
Or if they have younglings.
Yeah, in which case, maybe I could see them like mistaking his corpse for something they regularly eat, but
No, I'm talking about like coming across the mama animal. They are fierce. They will attack.
Okay, to defend their younglings. Yeah, okay, I get that. But
out here, this is the east suburbs of Cleveland. We get a lot of deer, and they have a lot of babies every single year. And if you get close to like anywhere near these little tiny ones, the deer will kind of be okay, but you can see the mom get pumped up, and they'll start huffing and stuff at you.
Yeah, but this Brian Laundrie guy,
he dismembered himself and put himself in the woods.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, maybe did someone murder him?
I'm wondering if it's even him. Is the FBI lying just to get people away from his parents' house?
Maybe, or it might be a case of misidentification, because I remember they had to identify him through dental records.
Yeah, his teeth, because he was so dismembered and disfigured.
Yeah, there's probably something here we don't know. Now, dismembered could have just meant like torn apart by an animal after he was dead.
That's what I'm assuming. I mean, if you're in the woods, wasn't he in the woods in like Colorado or something? They have mountain lions, bear.
No, it's my understanding he went it's believed after he killed his fiance, he went all the way back home to Florida, and then went into the swamp in Florida. Yeah, and there it's not mountain lions, it's
crocodiles.
Yeah, I understand meth.
Crikey!
I've heard things about like meth gators being a problem, and then there's
from eating meth heads, they get all methed out.
Yeah, and then there's even a rivalry between gators and this invasive boa.
Yes,
species.
I've heard about this. The snakes are getting so big
that they
eating everything, and now they have to eat the gators.
Well, it's not so much they have to eat the gators, it's like the gators are their natural rival, or their rival for whatever resources.
They're at war with the gators.
Yeah, you know, if you could get the camera crews out there, maybe you could like cordon off certain sections. You could maybe sell that shit as pay-per-view.
Yeah, and make like a documentary to sell to Netflix about the war between the boa constrictors and gators in the Everglades.
Actually, there kind of was a documentary made about that, except it wasn't. There was this History Channel series called Life After People.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, that's where I learned of this thing between gators and boas. And yeah, basically that series can be summed up as everything humanity built would fall apart, and certain animal species would prosper, and certain others would die out.
I also heard that there's a lot of people in Florida that eat iguanas. They get really big, and they climb all around your houses and stuff, and people eat them like I know a lot of Ohioans that say they love squirrel.
Hey, if they like it, good for them.
I would try it. I would try anything once.
Yeah, I get the feeling that the only reason squirrel meat is not for sale at any grocery store that I'm aware of or available at any restaurant is those things are so small and hard to catch that it would be impossible to make any profit selling the meat.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do it just for like a quick thing to throw on the grill, I think.
Yeah.
And I also heard that they're massive. I mean, we're talking about giant, like 5 foot.
Yeah, now I'm thinking of that on The Simpsons when Mr. Burns went to bury some toxic waste at the playground, the squirrel runs across the tree branch and his eyes like light up green, and he shoots a laser at this nut and then extends his tongue out 5 feet to eat it.
So let's jump into, we're running out of time a little bit. Let's go to our last news story of the evening from the Los Angeles Times. Riverside teacher, in faux headdress on leave after mimicking Native Americans in this video. All right, where's the video? I gotta see it. I'm starting to get tired of even reading these stories, and I want to see.
Wait a minute, right?
Is this?
Oh wait, that's an ad for California.
It's always some ad for California. Hold on.
That's a photo from the protest. No, that's one of the women at the protest, not the teacher herself.
Oh, hold on. Here's a link for the video, I think. There we go.
And let's...
I don't know. Tomahawks? I don't know. Is that right? Okay. So-ka, to-wa, so-ka, to-wa, so-ka, to-wa, so-ka, to-wa, so-ka, to-wa, so-ka, to-wa.
I love this. Dude, this lady was getting high before she went to teach a high school class. Oh my god!
There was actually some method to the madness, though.
Oh no! Because she's teaching a lesson about the Indians with this, or I shouldn't say Indian, Native Americans.
Actually, she wasn't.
What do you mean? It was on the projector.
Here's the thing.
It said the Toa, and that's just you're saying Shaka Toa or something.
Yeah, here's the thing. Guess what subject that woman is supposed to be teaching?
Hold on, let's see some more videos. Oh, it was math.
Yeah. That blew me away when I first read that. I'm like, why is a math teacher doing this? Not that it's okay for anyone else, but
she's still doing it.
Here's the thing.
During math, look, if it's over here, it says 25x squared minus 5x. Dude, she's high.
Yeah.
Somebody had her on that Sherm.
So here's the thing. Sakatoa was actually a mnemonic device for something she was teaching, but
Hold on, there's more.
Water goddess, again, I
No.
Please tell me the secret Indian chant.
No.
Please. And right here. Because obviously this is ridiculous.
Well, she has some
Oh.
self-awareness. I'll grant her that.
No, I think she was calling the natives ridiculous.
Wow, look.
You okay?
I just ran into
Look,
the
one of the kids said, "Are you okay?"
I'm gonna guess no.
This is just too fun.
What is she doing?
Beautiful rocks.
What's going on in this lady's life?
I pulled them out of my pantry. No, wait, no. But
Did she say she pulled those rocks out of her pants earlier?
Thank you, Rock God, for these beautiful.
Is that a rock in your panties? Or are you just happy to see me, girl?
Okay, yeah.
Dude,
this woman.
Rockasola, girl. I'm gonna have to grab clips. I need to save this video somehow.
Yeah, I gotta say, this woman should not be teaching.
Dude, I gotta go back in for seconds. This link is so good here, dude. Hold on, let me go back to the. Oh no, I gotta go to the second video with her on the chairs.
I mean, okay, I'll grant her it is difficult to keep kids' attention these days, but...
Oh my god. She's acting like a 4-year-old in this teaching a high school class. Dude, there's no way.
I don't know. Tomahawks? So, go!
Tomahawks? Yeah, that woman should not be allowed to handle anything with a sharp blade.
No. Nobody's manhood. She should get her kids taken away. This lady needs, like, a psychological evaluation.
And again, the fact that she's a math teacher makes this just even wackier. Now, if she taught something like history, I could maybe buy that there was a valid academic reason to do anything like this.
And I get all of my feathers.
Now I gotta really think here. Now your wife goes viral, okay? She comes home from school, from her day job. She comes home. You're her husband, and this is viral, and you've been contacted by countless people you know. They're like, dude, your wife is all over the internet mocking Native Americans.
Well,
what's your next move?
Well, if the marriage had been in trouble, I would be like, this would be great. You know why?
It's your perfect opportunity to tell her to kick bricks, or you do.
Well, I was going to say no. I mean, it would make excellent evidence to use against her in divorce proceedings.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe you would actually not have to... You could skip over a prenup. Just get a crazy girl that mocks the natives in a classroom.
Well, that's
where you shouldn't even be teaching history.
Well, that's the thing. She's not a history teacher. She's a math teacher. That's...
In a very, very white one.
Exactly. Not that... I gotta say...
Not bad looking for a white high school teacher.
Yeah, she's a good looking lady, but
all of my high school math teachers looked like the gym teachers.
Yeah, I will say though, she is not nearly good looking enough to get her out of this one.
No.
Because let's face it, good looks do grant people a certain amount of leeway on
like
bad behavior.
The girls, like the female teachers that bang out the high school students and do all that stuff, they usually kind of get off with a slap on the wrist.
They do usually do a little bit of time, and they aren't allowed to teach again, and that's okay. That's good, but they do not get near.
No, then they just become like preschool overseers.
They're not allowed to do that anymore because it's still a record. Even if the state doesn't say they can't do those kind of jobs anymore after that conviction, that's still something that's going to come up in even the most basic background check. So by default, they're still screwed anyway, but as people say whenever it's one of those female teacher, male student scenarios, they're like, yeah, if the genders were reversed, the public would be wanting that male teacher's head on a pike.
Yeah.
But yeah, this woman is...
That is crazy. I've never had a great experience at school that good.
Yeah, I gotta say, this woman is...
bonkers, dude. She's on drugs.
I think that should be investigated. This reminds me of this one incident when I was sitting on the plane on the runway in Newark, New Jersey, on the way to...
Oh, shout out the Soprano. Shout out Tony Soprano.
Yeah, so my unit was on the way to Germany for the...
Uncle Joey Diaz, what's up? You was out there with Uncle Joey?
Yeah, something like that. So my reserve unit, we were on our way to Germany for the JMRC. That's basically a war game with our NATO allies. And the civilian was sitting next to me. He was like, okay, we should be taking off soon. That they kicked those drunk guys off the plane. I said, those guys were drunk? Well, yeah, couldn't you tell? And I said, well, I suspected it, but I know people that are that obnoxious when they're sober, so it's hard to tell.
I'm guilty of that.
Shit, I wasn't gonna point at you, but if you want to plead guilty, fine.
Yeah, with all this craziness in the world, where can you find some solidarity? No Outlet Live on Facebook, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Stitcher, anywhere that you want to hear us. If you're interested, just Google one word, No Outlet Live, and we are brought to you by flathousepress.com and Guardian Roadside Solutions. If you're stuck on the side of the road, remember to call a Guardian at 440-833-6000. This has been No Outlet Live with your favorite host on the North Coast, Jay Remy, and I am accompanied by... Hold on, you gotta let me introduce you properly. Accompanied by the master of disaster, the king of the thing we call podcast, the cast pod, the master of disaster again, the ant on a rant.
Yes, what he said.
Anthony Miano. This is No Outlet Live. Thank you guys for tuning in. Email us at nooutletlive@yahoo.com. And we will see you guys next week. Peace.
The Education of Jazz, with your host, Hakeem H., bringing you the absolute best for your listening pleasure in America's only true art form of music. I'll be playing your favorites each day, everything from Duke, Coltrane, Julian Cannonball Adderley, to George Duke, Bob James, Kenny G, and so many more. We'll have guest artists to interview, locally and national artists, and even a live call-in from you, the audience. Tune in daily from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. to unwind your day for the Education of Jazz.
There we go. I don't know. Tomahawks? I don't know. Is that right? What that is? Okay. So got to what? 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 So got to no no so got to what? So got to what? So got so got to what? So got to what? Oh, so good. And eventually, I get to go home. And I get...
No outlet, but I need to charge my phone!
No Outlet Live.